Welcome my butterflies to part 2 of our Battle of the Stitches reveal day. Earlier today I did release the Easter egg basket that I did, and I'm going to post pictures, better pictures of like the completed basket and the completed jack-o'-lantern basket that we're doing. If you saw my earlier video, we went ahead and made, this is part 2 of our Battle of the Stitches reveal and tutorial day. And in the first video, I did show you how to make the base for our jack-o'-lantern. And in just a second, I'm going to turn you over to see that. But what we are doing, and hear me, my voice is crackling a little bit, so bear with me. It's been a long couple days. But I do have the base together, and I have the first row of single crochet stitches. We're actually going to do a second row because I think what will look best for this particular jack-o'-lantern is that it has a second row of single crochet to kind of create that foundation row in the orange. And then we're going to get to the fun, because what we're going to do is we're going to play with exactly how many of the the treble crochets are easy mock bubbles we're doing. And basically we're going to create like warts and then not and the bumps to our gourd on our pumpkin. And so if you've ever been to a pumpkin patch and seen that old grizzled knotted huge giant pumpkin, that's kind of the feel I'm going for. So it's not going to be all the way across, kind of like our Easter basket was, where it was you had the Easter eggs, what I call the Easter eggs, the blue Chanel yarn popping out every other stitch. But we're going to go like 2 or 3 stitches and then do like 3 or 4 easy mock bubbles. Sorry guys. And then we're going to do like another few single crochets and then around. And we're going to kind of layer that as we go, creating this pumpkin gourd feeling. So I'm going to get off of my beautiful face and we're going to turn around and we're going to get to actually working on our base. So let's flip you guys around. So here's our base. So we did a 6 or 12, hold on. I think we did a 12 half double crochet, because again my brain just went totally blank, guys. 12 half double crochets in a magic ring. Then we did, and then we slowly increased until it was an increase, 3 half double crochets, increase around. Then we did a back loop, only half double crochet row, and then we did a black half double crochet row normally. And then we are now at where we have the single crochets, and I'm kind of contemplating doing a second row of single crochets in the orange, but I think it'll work just as well if we don't. So I'm going to do a single crochet, and I'm actually going to go, because this is our back, I'm going to go about, we're going to do 5 single crochets over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I will say, when it comes to especially this row, you need to make sure that your single crochets are really tight, that you have really good tension on those, because when you do your treble crochets, that is going to cause you need the single crochets to be tight on, especially on either side of the trebles or triple crochets, depending on how you've been taught that they're called, because that is what um, ultimately makes the mock bobble the mock bobble. How tight it is against these is what pushes out your treble and makes it pop. So now we're going to do a treble right here. Yarn over, yarn over, yarn over. Now this is the fun part. You're going to go in here and do a single crochet and do it tight. Like I said, you want to make sure it's tight so that it causes this to pop, right? And basically what we're going to do, unlike in how the Easter basket where we just did it um, in one row, we're actually going to kind of double stack this row. We're going to do essentially 2 rows of what we're doing right now to create our bits and bobs, our knots for our gourd. And actually, I want to try something real quick. We're going to do 2 trebles right here. And then we're going to single crochet. And again, when you do your single crochet needs to be tight. Okay, yeah, I like that much better. So if you can see what I did 5 single crochets, then I did 2 trebles next to each other, then I did a single crochet. You don't want to do more than that in a row because then it's not going to pop right. But I like that, and we're going to kind of like double up on it to create like an even bigger one, or we're going to do a single crochet row and then another one and offset. I'll show you what that looks like. Because I'm kind of playing with the way that I play around with the way that the knots on this bag are every single time I do it. And please forgive me, I keep knocking my mic into my necklace, so I've kind of moved that around. So now we're going to do 2 more trebles. 1 through 2 through 2, 3 through 2. And we're going to do 1 more. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to pull tight on a single crochet. And again, the joint single crochets on either side is what causes this to pop. So that's why it's important. You got a tight single crochet. Now, I kind of like, again, I kind of play with how I do it every single time. So I think I am going to do 4 more single crochets right here. 2, 3, 4. And again, this is one of those things that you play with it as you go, right? Maybe you like more, maybe you like less. I'm actually going to do 1 right here. So we're going to do 1 set of treble crochets. Because, you know, each time you do your yarn, it's slightly different. So I dropped a stitch somewhere. Hold on. Oh, and when we talk about yarn, so the black yarn is Yarn Bee from Hobby Lobby Black. blanket yarn, I believe. And then the uh, orange is at Chanel from Yarn Mountain Company. And I will put the link to them down below. They're really cool. Really love them. They're out of Lynchburg. If you ever get over that way, it's near State Natural State Bridge. If you ever get out that way to that park, stop by Lynchburg, Lawrenceburg. No, Lynchburg. I'll have to look at the name, guys. I'm all of a sudden names and everything are just totally not doing it for me. But they are so worth it. They're amazing yarns. Like so many amazing yarns. And they do online orders. So if you see something you like, they can send that to you. They typically don't have their local hand dyed yarns on their website, but if you call them, they will show you what they've got and they will let you order them that way. Um, Again, absolutely love the ladies over there. Highly recommend. They're so much fun. Um, they got some bamboo yarn in the day I was there, and they were having so much fun with it. It was cool. So I highly recommend going over there and seeing what they got. So we're kind of about to where I'm eventually going to have the mouth and the eyes. And so I want to do a series of two, I think. Um, Trebles here. Again, guys, you get to play around with it. You get to decide what your knots on your gourd look like. It's so much fun. And that's why we love crochet, because you can kind of take a generalized pattern and play with it, right? And that's what I'm doing. I am taking this generalized pattern for these stitches, and now I'm really just playing. And then we're going to do our single crochet and make sure to do this tight so that it causes our mock bubbles to bubble. Right? And I'm just going to continue playing on around. I'm going to do like 2 or 3 more and then come, and I will come back when we join back up over here. All right, so we've come back around and we slip stitch to the top of our next row. Now, here's what we're doing. We're going to single stitch across. Now, normally we would do our single crochet, but in order to, actually no, we're going to do single crochet all the way around, but then you're going to see where we are going to do some, instead of doing like the next row, which is it, because you do 3 single crochet rows, we're going to do something else slightly different. So I will come back when we are to right here where we're going to start seeing something different in the next row. But this row is just going to be single crochets, slip stitch to the top, chain 1, and single crochet over to this part. I'll see you over there. All right, here we are. So just trying to make sure everything's still good on the sound. So like I said, we did a row of single crochets all the way across. Now, now hear me, you could do like a green or a brown to kind of like pop the knots on your gourd of your pumpkin. But what we are going to do is you're going to come over, you're going to crochet single crochets. You're going to do 2 right on top of the knots from your previous triple crochets. Then you're going to come into this one and do 2 trebles, and then you're going to do a single and create kind of this cluster of 3 little knobs, right? So you're just trying to create some texture to your pumpkin, not all the way around, but create some texture. And then you're going to single crochet for 1, 2, and 3. Now over here, you see we just did 1. So we are going to do a set of 2 trebles right here. 1, 2, and then we're going to single crochet here. So that's our first set. Again, we're just kind of creating that texture, right? I'm just trying to make it look like an old knotted jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. So then we're going to do 2 trebles. I feel like I'm about to start singing all about the bass, about the bass. No treble. Because of the way this works. So treble, treble, pull tight, and then we're going to pull single crochet right here, pull tight. Now again, you can be doing this any way you want to. This is just kind of how I'm doing it. See, I'm going to carry these inverse 3s over here. And just continue around. Now here we've got a 3, so you can do, I'm going to be doing 2, and then I'll have a 1 up at top where the 3s are. But just continue to play around, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, guys, so I'm going to start to build the mouth a little bit because I'm planning on the mouth being in between these 2 treble knots. So we're going to do a quick color change. So I got to grab my black. Now, here's the thing. With this one, again, I'm just going to carry the black back and forth here at the mouth and eventually at the eyes. So we're just gonna do a slip knot, and then I'm going to tie it off on the back to the orange just to kind of anchor. Again, do that little bit of an anchor. And we're going to carry the orange in the next little bit underneath, but we are going to do single, single, and then here to just create some texture with the mouth as well, I am also going to do a treble right here in the center of the mouth. Don't know where the green fuzz is coming from. Actually, I do. It's from the previous projects, the Easter projects. I was getting orange fuzz on the Easter basket, and then I was getting... Now, in this part, I am going to do just a one treble, do a single crochet for the mock bauble. And again, it's going to kind of create that creepy pumpkin mouth without too much effort, because you're going to see it pop up a little bit and you go, oh, that's different. Now then, and we're going to do a single in the black right here. Now, this is where it gets fun. Instead of picking up the black, we're going to pick up the orange, and we're going to leave the black right there. Because guess what? We're going to come back around. This time for our next row, we are going to flip and come back this way. And I know we've not done that yet, but we're doing it on this next row because it's going to help us create the mouth that we need. But I also wanted to create what I had so far, and that required doing what we've done so far. So that was a single crochet. We need to single crochet right here. Like I said, we're going to leave the black because I could carry it all the way around if I wanted to, but it's going to be more of a hassle for you and for me if we do that. So we're going to do that. Single crochet. Now then, I actually want to do 2 orange single crochets. And now we're going to do 2 trebles. No treble. If it'll behave. That's what I love about stuff like this, is you can just play around with it. And I've been playing around with it, and I've probably undone and redone several times over the course, right? And so I just love that you kind of get to play, and you kind of see this formation of this mouth starting to kind of come up and get a little scary mouth, right? For our jack-o'-lantern. Two trebles and a tight single crochet, and just kind of continue on around playing with it how you like until you get back to your starting single crochet. All right, so I slip stitch back here. Now on this row, I'm going to do, instead of like a single crochet row, which I did right here, I'm actually going to do a half double crochet row all the way across, including with my black. So to do that, we're going to chain 2 here. And this time, like I said, we are turning because we're trying to keep the mouthpiece where it needs to be, right? So we're going to do a half double crochet row, like I said, all the way across. And part of the reason we're doing a half double crochet is just to give it a little bit of height this round. You know, that's kind of why we did half double crochets in some of our other rounds as well. And this will also kind of reflect, like I said, guys, it's supposed to be like, we're getting there. We're getting height, but we're trying to also add some height here. Partially because I didn't really plan this. I just wanted to use up this orange yarn, and I'm recognizing I may not have enough, but we'll see how this goes. And who knows, I may have to get creative on how to finish, but I really do like the way it's coming out. But again, just half double crochet all the way across, and I will see you when we get to the mouth portion. All right, so I came back over here and we did our final half double crochet right before the mouth, then and pulled through with the black. And again, we're going to do half double crochets in all of this, but you're also carrying your orange yarn through the mouth, which just means you're covering it up, as you go. Makes it a lot of fun, right? And you can kind of pull it tight so it doesn't show as much through, which that's part of the goal. There. Also, because the black is big and fluffy, use the big and fluffy. Use the big and fluffy to your advantage. See how it's kind of creating this little mouth? And so yeah, you just operate like this, creating something similar for the eyes, although you kind of do triangle patterns for that one. Yeah, come on. Like I said, this row is our single crochet, or our half double crochet row. So just keep that in mind as you're going through. Right? Because like the little, you did pop it there, it kind of creates that extra little snaggle that you get in our normal jack-o'-lanterns. And so we're going to do one more row of a few this is our half double, last half double in the black. So this is where you come around, drop your black, and pick up your orange and go through. That way we're kind of creating this, and then you half double crochet right into this. And again, because we're wanting this to be the outside, we're kind of pulling all of this back towards here. Right? So you can kind of see where the mouth is. Now, we have to do one more row of some bobbles to kind of get where our 3 bubbles are. I'm going to do one more easy mock bubbles through here, back around. So we will turn again. When we get to here, we're going to come back around and do our mock bubbles however we want on that row. But then we're going to do a row of at least just orange half double crochet or even a full double crochet. We'll see when I get there. But I'll see you on the other side. So I did do one more set of bubbles over the 3 sets we gotta go going over here. Kind of, again, just kind of creating the texture of like a old gourd pumpkin. Now, I am doing a single crochet, and then I'm doing a treble, and again, I'm carrying my orange yarn through this, the black, right, to create our mouth of our jack-o'-lantern. So the black yarn is just non-cooperative, but probably needed a slightly bigger hook if I'm honest with, if I was going to use the black yarn. But to also match the orange yarn, I needed this hook, and I probably could have done 2 different hook sizes, but it just didn't feel right. So now we're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch, come on, you silly thing, behave. Fine. Maybe. Y'all, I am struggling, and this, I do not know what is up with this and why it keeps getting so off balance, y'all, but please forgive me. I may have gone down too low. Maybe that's part of the problem. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out. But with this one, we are going to pull through. We're going to pop it that way so it's all popped in the same direction. We're going to single crochet, treble. Again, we're carrying the orange underneath through our black. That is driving me nuts. Wait a little bit. We're going to single crochet. And again, it just kind of creates that teeth look without really doing it. And I wish I'd been a little bit better on the bottom here, but again, technique and practice, y'all. And then one more bobble, easy mock bobble. Let's make sure that's mic's going. Again, my voice is kind of really rough, so I'm hoping you're hearing me clearly here. But there's that. And then we're going to single crochet here, pull up the black loop, then we're going to use the orange to pull through and tighten our crochet. And now we've got our mouth. Now, I know that's kind of like a little bit of a rough mouth, and it's hard to see on camera, but it does kind of, where the bobbles are, really do kind of create these teeth looking like structures. Definitely recommend. It's, like I said, it's kind of hard to see on the actual thing, or on the camera, I'm trying to show a little bit. I mean, you can kind of see it there. But now we are going to, because this is the end of our mouth, we are going to fasten off our black. She says that she's trying to find her scissors that she did not bring, that she should have brought. Pardon me, hold that thought just a second. There we go. And just kind of like we did on the other side when we started, we're just going to tighten and anchor it so that it doesn't run away, and then we'll weave them in later. Now then, we are going to single crochet right into this stitch. We're going to single crochet our way so we got our bobbles here, and this is the one where we do create one more set of 2 easy mock bobbles. So I'm going to do a single crochet right here, do our 2 trebles, I'm starting to wish I used a different hook, but probably would have used my Yarnus hook for this. I feel like it would have been better, my hooks or my dots. But as it is, I used what I used. I'm going to finish with it. So then single crochet across. We've got these bobbles. Make sure you pull that tight. And then you can add our knots across here. But then we're going to come back and do a single crochet row. We're going to do a single crochet row around 1 or 2 half doubles, and then we'll do another single crochet. So I will see you on the other side. Alright, butterflies, so what I did while we were on break, I did a single crochet. Oh, gotta get it in there. So here's our mouth, right? It's bubbled out that you can't quite see because it's all black. But then we had a single crochet row. Then I did a double crochet row to give us some height for our bag. And then I did a single crochet row. And then when I came back and started across, I did some bobbles along the way to create some more knurls on our pumpkin. But when I got 5 stitches out from the corner of the mouth, so here's the corner, right? Oh, guys, I'm sorry, I keep going further down. Okay, so here's the corner of the mouth. I went up, and then I counted 5 stitches out, and I did 2 treble crochets, single crochet, 2 double crochets. This is the base of my eye. Then I did single crochets all the way across the mouth base, and did 2 double crochet or 2 treble crochets, single crochet, 2 treble crochets, crocheted around, and I did some more bubbles for some more knots that we're gonna do. Now I'm gonna chain 1. I'm gonna turn it. We're gonna go back across, and this is just my single crochet row. So we're just doing a single crochet row like we've done before when we've turned, and do a single crochet, change to the black when we're coming across the eye, and then back to the orange, and then back across the eye in black, carrying the orange on around. And I will see you when we are back to doing the row back towards the eyes in the normal direction. Alright guys, so for the eyes, this is like the last row of the eyes. What you're gonna do is you're gonna single crochet here, and then you're gonna single crochet with the orange in the next one. Now then, but you're gonna pick up your black, sorry, and pull through. Remember to carry your orange, and you're gonna treble in the next 2. Yeah, y'all, if I would have chosen a slightly bigger hook if I could do this one again, because of how thick my black yarn is. Didn't realize I needed it to be a little bit thicker, but going forward, just saying, if you have a thicker black yarn, make sure you get your hook size appropriate to whatever your thickest yarn is, if one is slightly thicker than the other. This orange is a Bella Chanel. It comes from a North Carolina company, but I bought it in Virginia. This is turning a bit to be almost a what do you call it? Minecraft type jack-o'-lantern, and I kind of like that. But we need to slip out of these 2 top loops, pick up our orange, loop it through, and you can fasten off and you can tie it right here just to give it a little bit of a anchor point, and you will then weave that in when you're done. Then you're going to single crochet right here. Like I said, it kind of creates the triangle, but it also has almost like a bit look to it. And then you're going to single crochet across. Do the same for this eye, where you go in here. I do one or two. I did two in the black. So you do two. But this is where you're going to pick up your black from your previous row on your eye. You're going to pull through. You're going to do 2 treble crochets. Now we're going to go back to, we're going to pick up the orange, slide through here, and I'm going to go, and then you're going to fasten this off. That over. You're going to anchor it. You'll come back and weave that in at the end. And finish it across, and then do as ever many rows as you want to above the eyes to finish off your bag. You can use the same kind of little stitching across the top in black that we did on our Easter basket. Do your handle, sew it on, and you've got your lovely jack-o'-lantern bag. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. This is Battle of the Stitches, so please make sure you go check out Heather at Strings and Threads, Critters Crochet which is Teresa, and Miranda at Crafting in a Small Space. They all had some pretty awesome things they made this month, and so look at that, then go and vote on your favorite, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.